swear I can't stand this place and what's becoming of me. The longer I have to stay, I want to think all unthinkable things and say what I shouldn't say. I need a change.
I'm Anthony and I sing.
I'm Chris, I play drums. I'm Nick, I play bass.
I'm Jack, I play guitar.
Cool.
I contribute moral support.
And emotional, for sure.
No, not emotional. I'm emotionally starring in damage.
We spent a couple of months writing on tour, just like actually back here in this very bus.
Literally right here.
Yeah, we wrote most of it back here, kind of in theory and stuff, and then we went home for about 5 weeks and we really kind of actually wrote it on instruments.
Yeah, we did a lot of talking this time about the songs instead of sitting in a practice space for 2 months like the last album.
And one for that.
And we spent a lot of time back here with songs, and then we'd all just come check it out and figure out different parts and different vibes for the songs. And then it took 5 weeks to get the full band together, and then we were off to the studio.
I can't really speak for everyone because I tried not to participate as much. I mean, I'm certainly a member of a band that's in the scene, but I tried to kind of not focus on it because when I see stuff like watch the VMAs and stuff, it makes me so filled with rage that I just go back and I kind of try not to. I appreciate it peripherally, but I certainly don't give it the attention that it asks for.
I love it. I mean, I think that I grew up as part of the scene, just going to shows at like VFW halls and Knights of Columbus and stuff like that. And just to think, I mean, I remember having to buy albums through mail order and stuff like that, like punk albums and hardcore albums. And I think that it's gotten this big is pretty amazing, and it's cool that punk rock kind of made it into Walmart. I think it's awesome. And some people think that's really dirty, but I think it's actually really defiant. I think it's kind of kicking ass from the inside now, which is cool. But at the same time, of course, anything that gets as big as it's gotten kind of gets watered down naturally at the same time. So there's a lot of fakes, but
yeah, there's definitely a lot of music and bands and content out there. You just kind of have to do your research and weed through it and find stuff that's worthwhile.
But I think things like the internet and how many shows there are to go to now, it helps to make that research easier. I think it's cool. I definitely welcome it into the scene with technology. But I mean, I think a lot of music fans find their new favorite bands on MySpace, that they would never have heard of otherwise because they live 3,000 miles away and they can't get a record deal, and they're not on TV. So I think it's amazing. It's just again, it just kind of it spawns a lot of fakes. So it's a lot easier for a band to never play a show and have a giant fan base, which is kind of lame, but at the same time, it's just another thing that's there that if you work hard, you can make something of your band,
I think just something positive out of life, like everyone goes through some bad times and bad things, and it's easy to kind of dwell on them and kind of have your life go in a downward spiral, but I think with Shudder we acknowledge all the bad things that happen, but kind of also acknowledge like the light at the end of the tunnel, and how to get through things. I don't know, I think The Walking Wounded started to touch on that last album, and this is just kind of more of a continuation of that.
Anyone else want to?
I think that another pitfall of this scene is that kind of like depression sells. You know what I mean? We want to be that light at the end of the tunnel.
So not everything needs to be negative, basically.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, because not everything is negative. If you see your life as everything being negative and the bands write about everything negative, that feels forced. Like that's not a natural thing to be bummed out about everything.
Yeah.
I think we feel like as a band also we see a lot of, I don't want to say bad influence, but bad influence with a lot of
other artists with, like, as far as, you know, content and things, and I think that us as a band, we kind of look at ourselves as that positive band to try to not be those people and try to be like a better influence overall to kids.
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of touring. The record just came out last week, and we're starting it just, this is the first day of a new tour. So we have 6 weeks of this tour, and then we go to Europe, and then we go to Japan and Australia, and back here. Like a lot of international stuff this year, more than we've ever done before.
It'd be nice to get out to some places that we've definitely received a lot of feedback, and a lot of people trying to get us to come out, and it's nice to finally have an opportunity to make it out that way.
You know, it's weird. I haven't even put these songs on my iPod. I've been listening to old school CD stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah, man.
But Ben Folds and New Jenny Lewis, those are the last 2 albums I bought. But I haven't even put them on my iPod.
Okay.
I just bought, we did a bunch of in-stores last week with the record out, so we are spending a lot of time in record stores lately. Like by a lot of time, I mean like 8 hours at a time in a record store. And I rebought a lot of stuff that I had when I was younger that I was missing. Yeah, I rebought the Toasters, Scott Boom record, and Promise Ring, Nothing Feels Good.
Like you and Red and Blue Jeans?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I just bought Minus the Bear, bought an EP in 2001. What it feels like to be gigantic, something like that.
By Minus the Bear?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that album.
It's awesome. It's 6 songs, and I think 3 of them are actually songs, and the rest is just noise.
Like,
Magic
3 songs are cool.
Right out.
Yeah.
3 songs are cool, but...
Cool. Well, that's basically it, guys. I just want to say thank you very much for the interview, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just figured this would be a quick one.
Thanks a lot, man.
Just hit the grab.